So for this demonstration, I've already made my watercolor Paul Klee picture. You can see I did a wet wash on wash here. I did a nice light blue wash and added a little purple in here and a little green in here to get a purplish greenish ocean-like wash. Now I'm going to go back with a little dry, what we call dry brush. I'm going to take my clean, fresh cup of water, dump a little bit into my individual wash pan, get my brush just a little wet. I'm going to loosen up some blue by just dribbling some water into my blue. I'm going to loosen up my water by dribbling some into my purple. Okay, and I'm going to loosen up my green by just dribbling a little green in there. Okay, I'm going to dry my brush off. And my paper is dry. Okay, I've let it dry for a while. I'm just going to gently kind of tip my brush into this light, or into the blue here, and just get a little bit on there. And now I'm just going to use my hand. I'm going to set one hand down, set the other hand on top like this, and I'm going to use this to have some more control. I'm just going to take this dark blue and lightly press to make some waves. Okay, you don't want to make your whole picture wavy, just a couple waves. It's just going to kind of give it some depth. This is called dry on dry because we've already done the wet on wet, and this is the dry on dry. Just little teeny waves here and there. Okay, I'm going to go rinse the blue out and get some purple and do the same thing with my purple. Now as I do this dry on dry, I'm going to try to keep the purple by the purple. You know, I'm not going to be putting it everywhere, just a little bit here and there. I did my purple kind of down in this corner. I did it up in this corner. Okay, so there we go. We've got a couple blue, a couple purple. Wash my brush out. Dry really good. It's called dry on dry for a reason, because the paper is dry and your paintbrush is fairly dry. Of course, it has to have some water in it and some paint in it, but you want to make sure that you've got mostly just paint and not a lot of water, because that is what here the idea is, to put just dry paint. Okay, so I've added now kind of another layer of paint onto this picture. My blue and green little waves to kind of give the feeling of waviness to it. And I'm actually going to come back with some darker purple and my brush a little wet. I'm just going to kind of do a little dark stuff right down in the bottom here, just to kind of make this bottom part look a little deeper. Okay, if it gets too dark like that, you can always go back with some more water and just kind of loosen it up, because you don't want it to be so overpowering that there's, like, you know, too much. Notice how I'm just tipping my brush into the water just to get a little bit on my brush to kind of get this dark part down here loosened up. So you've got like dark on the bottom, lighter on the top. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to get a little green and do the same thing kind of right over where my green was. I'm going to put some in here, get some water and smear it around just a little bit, so we've got a little like more green. This is just going back and kind of doing another slow layer. Okay, so you can see how I did that. Alright, and that's what your finished picture should look like. Dark water on the bottom, lighter water up on the top, waves in between. And that's it. When you're done, Please wash out your brush really well so that there's no paint on it. Use your paper towel to clean up and dump your dirty water into your dirty water like that. So everything is put away correctly.